great 3 days. Our live play has been super competitive between both groups. And our breakdowns, like stations at the beginning of practice, have been really good with our teaching and focusing on like what our principles are and what we're going to do on both ends this year.
How's the big look so far?
Great. They've been battling. Mostly Nick, Common, and Oso right now, but they've all been good. I think like today we played a lot of live scrimmage, and the like level of rebounding, both offensively and defensively, was great today. And it started with our fives, like grabbing a bunch of tough rebounds. So it was a good day for them.
I know with Kaman, obviously, him being just 19 years old, what's maybe stood out to you, someone that young in this environment, know he's going to be counted on?
I mean, he talks nonstop on the court. Like he's commanding the defense, calling out coverages, constantly talking, and for a rookie, let alone a 19-year-old guy, to come into the gym and do that first day at training camp is impressive. And he's already ready in that aspect.
What have you made of his coaching style so far?
He's a very like thoughtful and intentional guy. Everything we're doing in here has a specific purpose to the overall identity of the team we're trying to build, and he's very clear with the purpose and intention behind all the little drills we do, the style, and why we want to play this way, why we want to do this, why we want to do that. He's very clear and very specific on all those things, and so I think the first hour of practice each day we've had so far, like the breakdowns have been really good and really clear on how we want to play.
What are you looking forward to in terms of the different element that Jaylen is going to give this offense, being able to, honestly, I think you all were 30th and getting to the rim last year, just be able to get downhill, and how does that impact everyone else?
Yeah, he has such a quick burst of speed. Like with us trying to play faster, that obviously helps with that because he is explosive. He can get out in the open court. He can push the ball up quickly. But then even in the half court, like the quick bursts on drives, it opens up all the small stuff you can do with me, Book, Dylan, any of the other guards in there. Like if you just give him a little bit of angle, he can explode and get downhill and put pressure on the rim. And we have bigs that are great finishers around the rim too, so it's tough when you have a guy that can get downhill like that, and then you also have 5 men that can catch lobs and finish at the rim really well.
Do you think his playmaking ability kind of just goes under the radar? Not a lot of people talk about that. He's more just that go-to scorer.
I think so, yeah. I mean, we scrimmaged for a long time today, and I thought he really got it going offensively with his shot today, and but a lot of the times he was getting downhills, he was finding that dump-off pass to the big, or playing in the pocket in the pick and roll, and making a lot of great passes. And so I thought he was great all around offensively today, and I was impressed with that.
Both Ryan and Oso have said that they want to take steps forward this season as leaders, communicating more. How have you seen that so far?
Yeah, I mean, Oso's really like intelligent basketball player, and his voice is always there, and he has all the right winning habits is what he likes to call them, but using his voice, picking guys up when they're down, talking on the floor, communicating what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, all that little stuff. Like his voice is always there, and Ryan's stepping up in a way with his presence. Like last year, he's obviously a really talented defender and a great athlete offensively. But his voice and his presence on defense, and not only being a really good individual defender, but kind of commanding the team defense, I thought he's done a really good job with that. And when off ball, being a leader of the defense and calling out commands, telling guys where to go, and obviously he's still got all the great stuff on ball as a defender too.
With Nigel here, I don't know if it's come up in the locker room yet, but that 2015 tournament, he beat Dylan's Oregon team, he beat Book's Kentucky team, did not beat your Duke
Yeah.
team. What do you, if you remember anything about him as a player back then, just how crazy it is to see like this guy who was kind of known as like a cerebral mid-post guy kind of turn into this different perimeter player that he is now?
Yeah. We haven't talked about it. I don't know if he's just avoiding it, but I'm not gonna bring it up. But yeah, I mean, he's when I played against him in college, I actually didn't play the first time we played Wisconsin, so I got to watch. But he was always like really skilled with the ball, and he's like the kind of guy that you just assume like whatever you get him to work on, he's gonna pick up, and so it's not really surprising. Like he has free ball, he can handle, he's got all the mid-post game, he can get to the rim, he's a good passer. Like kind of a guy that just does a little bit of everything, and whatever you ask him to do, he'll be able to do. And I feel like as basketball players, you can kind of see that in guys. And the 2 times that we played them that season, you could kind of see that he's just like an all-around guy. It's not really something you could say he's bad at. And I mean, that's like you don't score as many points as he did in the EuroLeague without having a little bit of everything in your bag.
For a guy like him that played overseas at a high level for so many years, does the physicality stand out to you in camp early from him?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I mean, it's not surprising from him, but our whole top to bottom has been extremely physical this camp. So nobody really sticks out. It's kind of level from everybody right now.
Grayson, when you look at the spacing you'll be operating out of with Jordan Ott, obviously you want to create space for a guy on ball, but because of the attention guys like Oakland and Green did, do you feel like that's going to allow for more closeouts and driving lanes for kind of non-primary ball handlers to attack like you and some of the other shooters out there on it?
Yeah, I think so, but I think this year, different than the last 2 years, it's going to come a little bit more from our movement and our pace. The quicker we can get out and kind of create those closeout advantages, I mean, that's advantageous for me. Playing with a guy closing out, being able to shoot or drive it, and then with our ball movement and player movement offensively, like when we get things swinging side to side, I mean, that creates advantages for guys on the weak side. When, you know, we talked about Jaylen getting downhill. If Jaylen gets downhill, they sink to the big, and it's a skip to the weak side. So a little bit different way to get the same result as we've done the last 2 years. But now we have different personnel, so you obviously still try to create those advantages on the weak side. We're just going to get to it a little differently.
We talked with Ryan about the art of attacking closeouts, because it feels like it's a skill that people don't acknowledge that shooters have to counterpunch what it is a team's trying to run them off the line. And Ryan talked about wanting to add that to the game.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing, like, the better of a shooter you are, the easier it is to attack closeouts, because 90% of the time for me, if I get a catch on the weak side, like, their game plan is to run me off the line. So for me, it's like we want to get threes off, so you got to figure out, like, do I have enough time, and is this a quality shot to get this three off really quick, or do I want to attack the closeout and then try to create an advantage? But I think there's a couple things, and Ryan's done a really good job of it, but his main thing right now is he's just got to, like, shoot it. Like, he has a good shot. He was a little bit streaky last year, but he has great form, great touch, a great shot. And, like, if guys close out short, like, you got to shoot it every time. And then when they start closing out to the body, then it's an easy read, driving left to right, and then getting to the paint and making a decision from there.
You mentioned that window you have for the closeouts and just like making the right decision. Is that something that came to you in college, or was it more once you got to the league and being off ball a little bit more? Like, how long does it take to perfect that second and a half?
Probably more in the NBA. In college, I played more on ball.
Yeah.
I played some point guard my senior year, and then when I was in Memphis, I started playing more off ball with Ja. And I think that's when I got into a lot more closeout situations, and I was still kind of figuring out my game, so I wasn't this three-point first guy, but I kind of developed into that there, where it was always like if you got the three, take the three, hunt the three, and then the drives will come from there. And obviously it developed more and more playing in Milwaukee with Giannis and then coming here. So it's just, it's taken time, and I don't think that I'm perfect at it. I think there's, like, when you watch back, there's times where it's like, oh, you should have shot that one, or you should have driven that one, but you just try to get the feel right and make the right read.
Grayson, I wanted to ask you about Dylan. Obviously, you played against him in college, played against him a bunch in the pros as well, but you also played with him in Memphis. So, like, he's known kind of for that defensive intensity, grit, toughness that I think is a lot of what the guys also on the roster also bring. So, what have you seen that he can bring to a team playing with him, and what do you think he's going to bring to this team?
Yeah, he's another guy who uses his voice defensively. He's on the ball, he's obviously great, and then off the ball, he's talking everyone out, making sure they're in the right spots. He has that competitive fire that raises the level of everyone around him, makes everyone else better, and he's a good teammate. He's a guy you want on your side, and I learned that quickly in Memphis. He's just that kind of guy, like the personality you see. How he is with the people he's going up against is completely different of how he is with his teammates. So I'm glad we have him in our locker room.
Grayson, just wanted to ask, what are 2 or 3 talking points for Coach Ott? Like, you already know, like, he wants this to go this way as far as his coaching style.
I think the biggest thing that we've talked about and focused on so far is winning the possession game, and then a lot of our drills and what we're talking through is building towards that, whether it's how we're crashing the offensive boards, how we're pushing the pace, how we're managing clock at the end of quarters, trying to turn teams over, limiting other teams' offensive rebounds. That's been a big emphasis in camp, so I'm sure that'll get brought up a lot, is the possession game.
Thanks,
Yep.
man. Appreciate it.